So today we're covering a question asked by one of the viewers, and it was in relation to how to shallow the golf club, but how does that fit with the correct right shoulder movement for your golf swing. So we're going to have a look at the different directions the shoulders move and how that relates to shallowing the club and giving you that all important bit, more consistency and more control of the golf ball. So guys, we're talking about the movement of the right shoulder in the transition. Recently had a comment on the channel from Raza Khan saying how to start the downswing movement with the right shoulder. He's asking this question again because he hears a lot of people talking about shallowing the shaft, but then he says his concern would be it getting stuck. And here's people like Pete Cowan, etc. talking about the hands moving down and then around. So what we're going to be talking about is, how does that right shoulder move? Moves towards the camera this way, which we're going to define this as towards the target, and we've got it moving this way, which we're going to define as outwards, and then we've got the shoulder moving towards the ground, which will be downwards. Now what we're looking at is how all of these things fit together, the directions they're going to move with how you're going to be able to shallow the shaft. So I'm factoring those three directions of movement, which obviously is towards the camera, towards the target and down. It's all relating those to how that golf club will shallow and how it shallows for your golf swing. So if we have a think about this, there's three types of players that we've got. We've got the player that gets the club coming too steep, so they've got the shoulder going too far outwards, maybe a little bit too far forward, but they've definitely not got enough of the down. Then we've got the player who ends up being really trapped, okay? That's the guy who ends up coming too far into out. What this player has got is they've got too much down and not enough out. And then you've got the final player, the one who doesn't get as much compression. It's the ball pretty straight, but gets a little bit picky and doesn't get as much dynamic loft, so it's a little bit picky this way through impact. And they don't have the shoulder getting forwards enough. They have a little bit down, a little bit out, but they don't get on top of the ball. So understanding those three directions for your swing is what the key has got to be. We know that those three directions, how they work, but now let's look at how it fits. So for the first player here who goes steep, what I'd like to see is, if you get hold of the golf club here with the right hand where it would sit at the top, let go of it with the left and put the shaft against the right palm, make the movement down now, so you get that lower body moving forward towards the target, and what you're going to try and feel is that your right palm slides down that shaft, so you can see how that shoulder fits. So the shoulder is dropping, and this would then shallow the golf club. Then relating this movement here, then get both hands on it and get the feeling of that shoulder being able to drop down, which will bring that club a lot more from the inside. You've got the other player then that gets the club going way too far, shoulder down, which means it's getting trapped, so inside here. So what this player needs to be able to do is get more outwards. So what they're going to try and do is do the opposite, okay? So from the top here where that hand is rather than pushing down, they're going to feel how that hand can move out. Now all of these are still going to have the shaft shallowing because that's how you relate the wrist angles. Look at that in just a moment for you. But that hand is going to be going outwards. So if anything, feel like the left arm is pulling that right hand outwards, so you feel how the shoulder goes forward. So once that hand goes towards the ball, it pulls that right shoulder with it. So now that shoulder's moving forward. So that's a great drill for this person. The last one is going to be from that top of the backswing here. This person makes not a bad transition at the initial part, but the shoulder doesn't go forward. So the idea is going to feel that the shoulder is moving more towards the chin. So it's going to, you don't need to let go with both hands on this one. You're really trying to get that feeling of the shoulder, holding it with the left hand here, like it's being pulled towards the target, and that will get you more coverage at impact. Now, all of these are going to relate to what fault you've got and which bit you tend to be if you tend to get trapped. Now, the bit to look at is that your hands will go outwards very slightly. They don't just drop straight down, okay? Some players might feel this, like Justin Rose recently said that he feels that his hands drop straight down, but he knows that as soon as he puts rotation in, they go outwards. So for him, it feels like they're a straight drop down, Okay, that might be just because he gets them going too far outwards in transition. But as I say then, as soon as you put rotation in, that's going to bring those arms outwards. So the idea is going to be to understand that fitting with the shoulder movement is understanding what's going to happen with the wrist angle. So the left wrist can get flatter or even bow a little, and the right palm will start to go a little bit more up towards the sky. So it's flexing in this direction, and we can see how that would shallow the shaft. But it's making sure that that movement of the hand, it fits with your shoulder movement. So understand which problem you struggle with in the transition, and then fit the feeling of the hands and the shallowing of the club to that shoulder movement. So it's not just, I've got to shallow it and then put the shoulder in. Fix the fault and then add in the bits that's going to make it work for your golf swing, because that's got to be the key. How you're going to be able to make this movement work for your swing. I don't always get that shoulder far enough forward, so I'm going to hit a ball in a moment, show you the little drill, do a rehearsal, trying to get that shoulder through, and then see if I can create that movement through the ball that will allow me to get the compression that I'm looking for. So now moving this into hitting the ball, what I'm going to do first of all is, for me, I know that the shoulder doesn't go far enough forward, so taking this to the top of the backswing, take the left hand off and get the feeling of that right shoulder being pulled more forwards and on top. Then what I'm going to do is just take this to the top, pause, feel the shoulder coming through. Now I'm going to go through this and try and hit this as a pause drill. Take it to the top, pause, and then hit it, try and get that right shoulder firing through the shot, replicating the exact same feeling as I just had then in the practice move. So for me there, I really felt that I was able to push that shoulder right through the shot. Really pleased with how that felt. It feels quite awkward doing it as a pause drill. It's not normally a drill I would do a lot of. So for me to get a good strike with that, I'm really, really pleased with it. So it would be something that I'll start to build into my practice sessions and then start to move on to putting that into full swings, and therefore I'll be able to take this onto the course on a regular basis. If you've got any other questions and there's specific videos you guys would like to be made, please comment below. So we make the videos for you guys to help you with your game. So comment below videos you'd like to have on the channel going forwards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks for watching, and talk with you again very soon.